No one plans to regret buying their home. But with older flats, the problem don't show up right away. They show up at resale or retirement stage. In this video, we'll break down what's really on the market, the hidden risks behind some of the cheapest listings, and how CPF rules, lease decay, and resale demand could affect your financial years later. Whether you're planning to stay long term or upgrade later, this is what you need to know before you commit. Now, let's look at what's really on the market right now. One of the lowest priced 3-room flat at the time of recording on Property Guru is at Block 37, Jalan Rumah Tinggi, listed at 318K. You will also find a couple of units at Jalan Bahagia asking 320 to 330K. Now, let's look at the actual transacted prices for Block 37, Jalan Rumah Tinggi. One unit sold 290K around June 2024. And more recently, 2 units transacted at 339K and 345K in April 2025. But here's the issue. This flat has only 43 to 44 years of lease remaining. And that's where the risk began. Back in 2019, CPF and HDB introduced changes to how CPF can be used for housing. The goal is to ensure younger buyers don't use too much of their CPF on flats with short lease. And here's the key rules. If the flat lease doesn't cover the youngest buyer until age 95, CPF usage will be restricted. This affects both the amount of CPF you can use and how much CPF you can take. Now, let's walk through a real example. Suppose you are considering 4-room flat at Block 2 Holland Avenue and it has a remaining lease of 48 years. Now, imagine you are 35. So we take 95 minus 35 and we have 60 years. Meaning you have 60 more good years to turn 95. Now, which means to use CPF fully, the flat needs to have at least 60 years of lease remaining. But this unit has only 48 years left, meaning CPF usage will be limited. So, how much CPF can you actually use? To make it simple for you, I use the CPF Housing Usage Calculator, the link in the description. Now, imagine you are 35 buying a 4-room flat at Block 2 Holland. Let's use 630 as the price to keep things simple. CPF usage is capped at 441K. That means the remaining 189K must be paid in cash. That's a huge cash outlay and a real concern for many buyers. HDB flat come with 99 years lease, and once that's up, the flat goes back to the government. Now imagine using earlier example, you bought that 4-room flat at Block 2 Holland and stayed for 5 years. The lease remaining dropped to 43 years. The next buyer will also be affected. CPF limits become even tighter. Fewer buyers, less financing, and lower demand means weaker resale value. Back in 2017, Mr. Lawrence Wong, now our Prime Minister, warned, as the list runs down, especially towards the tail end, the flat price will come down correspondingly. So buyers need to do their due diligence and be realistic when buying flats with short lease. This is especially important for younger couples who have plans for a much longer future. SERS stands for Selective En Bloc Redevelopment Scheme, where the government selects specific old HDB blocks for redevelopment. If selected, owners are offered compensation and rehousing benefits. But here's the reality. Completed SERS project in the past 20 years, 2005, 06, 07, 09, 2011, 2014. Since then, only 3 new SERS projects has been announced. 513 West Coast Road in 2016, 81 to 83 Macpherson Lane 2018, 562 to 565 Ang Mo Kio Avenue 3 in 2022. That's it. So, if you're buying an old flat hoping for SERS, that's a huge gamble. Don't count on it. We know that old flat will get HIP, the Home Improvement Program, around 30 to 40 years mark. It covers improvement to the flat and is heavily subsidized by the government. In 2018, government announced HIP 2, which gives HDB flat a second round of upgrading when they reach 60 to 70 year mark. HIP 2 meant to keep the flats safe and livable. It is also meant for flats to see through their end of the lease. So what are the chances of SERS? You can draw your own conclusion. Now, let's talk about BERS. As announced in 2018 as well, BERS stands for Voluntary Early Redevelopment Scheme. Homeowners who were offered BERS can vote to decide if they want the government to take back their flat before the lease runs out. But the compensation will be less generous as compared to SERS. The huge difference between SERS and BERS is selective scheme by the government, while BERS is voluntary scheme for flat owners. SERS is not something that you can apply for. The government chooses the block. Burst, on the other hand, is voluntary. Even if it's offered, residents must agree through a vote, and not all blocks will get it. Details has yet to be announced. Now, you can draw your own conclusion if burst compensation will be sufficient for your long-term planning. Other things to consider. When buying an older flat, there will be higher maintenance costs due to older house.
As all of us who run town councils know, much more maintenance is needed for older flats.
Small home loans due to remaining shorter lease and the risk of negative sales if you use a lot of your CPF. The accrued interest may reduce your cash proceeds when you sell, and it will be harder for you to sell later as the next buyer, if younger ones, may not be able to use their CPF fully, and that limits your resale pool. Older blocks may seem as outdated, poorly maintained, or less desirable. Now, let's come back to the bigger picture. HDB has stated their mission is to provide affordable, quality housing. Ultimately, that's the lens through which HDB made its decision, balancing today's need with tomorrow's sustainability. Older flats come with some limitations, but for many, they may also offer possibility worth considering. Perhaps you're looking for more space. Maybe it's a more preferred location, being closer to family, school, daily routines, commute, etc. Or maybe it simply fits the budget. What matters is whether it works for you, your lifestyle, your goal, your long-term plan. Just make sure you have done your homework and that you have thought through the big picture, especially retirement. Because the best home isn't the newest or the cheapest, it's the one that fits your life. Thank you for watching till the end. I really appreciate it. My name is Kenneth, and if you're over 55 and planning your next move, I have done another video on your housing option. Click somewhere around here to watch it. I'll see you soon.